All right, so here's the starter project that was available in the last video. So what we need to do is write the check for palindrome method. Now a stack is ideal for checking for palindromes because what we basically want to do is reverse the string and then compare it against the original string. And if they're equal, then it's a palindrome. So the stack is ideal for reversing the string because what we do is we push each character in turn, and then because when we pop, it's last in, first out, we can pop the characters out and either compare them against the original string one by one, or what we can do, and this is the approach I took, is to pop the characters out and append them to a string builder, and then we can just compare the two strings. Now the wrinkle here is the punctuation and the spaces. And so the approach that I took was I'm using the linked list class for the stack, and I have a string builder that I use to build up the original string with punctuation and spaces stripped out. And of course the string's also lowercased. And as I'm doing that, I'm pushing characters that aren't punctuation and aren't spaces onto the stack. And once I've done that, what I have is a stack with all of the characters from A to Z in the string, and I have a string builder that contains the original string but with punctuation and spaces stripped out. And then all I do is pop all the values off the stack and append them to a string builder, and then at the end I just compare the two string builder values, and if they're equal, it's a palindrome. So that's the approach I took. You may have taken a different approach. As long as calling the methods returns what we expect, then your solution is good. It doesn't have to match mine. You may have chosen a different class for the stack. You may have taken a different approach for dealing with the punctuation, and that's fine. Just like with algorithms having many implementations, challenges can have many solutions. And so I'll show you one solution and you may have come up with something different. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is create my stack, and as I said, I'm going to use the linked list class. So I'm going to say linked list, and I'm going to store characters on this stack. Stack equals new linked list. And so that's the stack I'm going to use. It's currently empty. And then I'm going to create a string builder. As I'm looping through the string that we've been passed and pushing characters onto the stack, I'm also going to be appending the non-punctuation, non-space characters into a string builder. And so I'm going to say string builder, string no punctuation equals new string builder, and I'm going to give it a length of string.length because that's the largest we're going to need. And now I'm going to say string lowercase equals string.to lowercase, and of course string is the value that we've been passed. So this basically just lowercases the string in one shot. I could do it character by character, but I've just lowercased them all so I don't have to worry about doing it when I'm looping through the characters in this string. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is loop through the string character by character, and I'm going to push characters that have a value from A to Z onto the stack. And I'm also going to append them to this string no punctuation string builder. So at the end of the loop, my stack will be filled with all the non-punctuation and non-space characters. And I'll have a string builder that has the original string with all the punctuation and all the spaces removed. And of course, it'll also be in lowercase. So I'm going to say for int I equals 0, I less than lowercase dot length I plus plus. I'm going to say char c equals lowercase dot char at I. So this gets us the character in the string at position I, and I'm going to say if c is greater than or equal to A and c is less than or equal to Z, then I'm interested in this character. This means that it's between the characters A to Z inclusive, and so it's not punctuation, it's not white space, and so I want to add this character to my string no punctuation string builder, and I also want to push it onto the stack. So I'm going to say string no punctuation dot append C, and so that's appended it to my string builder, and I'm going to say stack.push C. And so when we drop out of this loop, my non-punctuation, non-white space characters have all been pushed onto the stack, and this string builder contains the original string in order from left to right with all the punctuation and white space removed, and it's also been lowercased. So now I need to create my reverse string. Now I could have taken the approach here to loop through this string and pop out characters and compare them, but instead I'm just going to pop all of the characters off the stack and append them to another string builder. So I'm going to say string builder reversed string equals new string builder, and we're going to make it stack.size because, and that should be string builder. Okay, I'll finish my other sentence now. We're going to make it stack.size because that's the largest string builder we should need. And then I'm going to say wall not stack.isEmpty reverse string.append stack.pop. And so what I've done here is I'm popping off the characters that I pushed, and all the characters I pushed are between A to Z. And so every character that's being popped off is between A and Z inclusive. And so at the end of this, I have the original string reversed, but without the punctuation and the white space, which is what I want. And so all I have to do now is compare this reverse string against the string with no punctuation, because this has the string that reads from left to right with no punctuation, and this has the string that reads from right to left. So if they're equal, it's a palindrome. If they're not equal, it's not a palindrome. So all I have to do is say, and in fact I don't need to add a line, I can just modify this, return reverse string dot toString dot equals string no punctuation dot toString. And so this is saying that if the string in the reverse string builder equals the string in the string no punctuation string builder, we have a palindrome. If they're not equal, we don't have a palindrome. And so that's my solution. And as I said, yours might be different. You might have taken a completely different approach. As long as these return what we expect, we're good. So we're going to expect true, 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 false, and true printed when I run. So let's go ahead and do that now. And we get true, 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 false, and true. And so that's one solution to the challenge. I hope you did well. If your solution does differ from mine, and I'm sure it does in some way, because there's quite a number of different approaches that you could have taken to solve this problem, as long as you used a stack. So as long as you're calling push and pop somewhere, and as long as you get the results true, 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 false, true, your solution is good. All right, so that's it for stacks. I'll see you in the next section.